Charles Gounod, who wrote the French operas Faust and Romeo and Juliet, once said that the only career for a composer is in the theater. How many composers today would agree, I cannot say, but I am certainly one of them. Lyric theater or music drama or Singspiel or opera comique or musical play, call it what you will, this is the form for me in most of my works. Very early, I felt the need for a more specific communication to a larger and more freewheeling public than today's concert hall affords. For a time, I actually felt suffocated in the concert or chamber music atmosphere with its special, limited audience. And since I was and am a composer of modern music, the type of dedicated audience that came to hear contemporary works seemed to me even more special and limited. Of course, I felt also that I had a natural bent for the theatrical. I am using the term in its simplest sense, to mean just the join-up of words, music, and stage action in projecting a performable conception. And this brings me to the so-called sociological or socially conscious themes in many of my works. Now, those terms, I think, are bad. They limit. And for a creative person, the whole world must be his oyster insofar as subject matter goes. But here I will make a flat statement. I will say that it doesn't matter what point of view a good artist has or what subject matter he picks. Whether he likes it or not, his work will show a close and primary relation to life about him. He cannot help himself. This is as true of Baudelaire and Melville and Debussy and Paul Klee as it is of Zola and Mussorgsky and Ben Shahn, in whose camp, I am not now speaking of quality, in whose camp I find myself. There is always a portion of the unconscious, the uncontrollable, in a work of art. It finally says something more, or something less, or something a little different from what the creator thought he intended. My wish has been simply to bring as much of that unconscious into the conscious, and so I often pick recognizable characters and timely, or analogous to timely, subjects. I'm trying to make the area of the uncontrollable as small as I can, realizing, of course, that the area will be there in any case. My opera, Regina, presented by Cheryl Crawford in New York in 1949, is based on Lillian Hellman's The Little Foxes and has to do with an Alabama family at the time of the rise of industrialism in the South. I think Regina falls into a category known in France as opéra comique. All that means is a musical stage work which does not attempt the grand or noble level, and which is free to use speech or song as the occasion requires. Many musical plays produced on Broadway today would seem to fit into this class. But it's a curious fact that Regina itself has had a much bigger success in the opera house than in the straight theater. Finally, I guess that as a composer, I am an adherent of the dramma per musica school, created by the Italian composer Peri in the early 1600s, actually the beginning of opera form as we know it. I wouldn't have you think I am returning to composition styles of the 17th century, but the basic impulse is the same, the wish to write a play in terms of music, with a heightened and charged effect that music can give to the spoken word or the silent action.
Miss Birdie, that elderberry wine going to give you a headache again.
Headache? Oh, I don't think it will. Mama used to say, you can stop hiccups by sipping slowly. Elderberry wine. Mama used to say, I can see her laughing, my face parting, and the hiccups. My brother kept pounding me people